One Sabbath, when he went in to eat at the house of one of the leading Pharisees, they were watching him closely. Picture this in your mind, you guys. There in front of him was a man whose body was swollen with fluid. In response, Jesus asked the law experts and the Pharisees, "Is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath or not?" But they kept silent. He took the man, healed him, and sent him away. And to them he said, "Which of you whose son or ox falls into a well will not immediately pull him out on the Sabbath?" They could find no answers to these things. And he told a parable to those who were invited. Jesus always tells everything in parables because he's trying to filter out who knows God and who doesn't. Because the way that the parables are written because those that don't know God won't be able to understand the parables. Those that know God, they will be able to, over time, be able to interpret what he's trying to say. Hey, Mr. X, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. He told a parable who were invited when he noticed how they would choose the best places for themselves. When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, don't sit in the place of honor, because a more distinguished person than you may have been invited by your host. The one who invited both of you may come and say to you, "Give your place to this man." And then in a humiliation, you will proceed to take the lowest place. But when you're invited, go and sit in the lowest place, so that when the one who invited you comes and says, "Friend, move up higher," you will then be honored in the presence of all the other guests. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Do you guys hear that? Do you hear what they're trying to tell us? Is that you can't walk in there like you own the place. How often, I don't know if this has happened in your life, but I know it's happened in my life, that I've met some really rich people in my life. Hey, Esteban, I've met some really rich people in my life, rich in possession. And those people that I met, I was humbled because I didn't know they were rich. Because they didn't present themselves as a rich person. They presented themselves as a humble person. How you doing, Skeleton? So that taught me a lot because they didn't have, gold watches and chains and come rolling in the driveway with some fancy car and all that stuff. They were humble. And that's what they were saying. For everyone who exalts himself, meaning anyone who puts himself on a pedestal and is like, I'm special, they will be humbled. And the one who humbles himself, meaning the lowly person that just dresses modestly, doesn't wear gold watches and chains, right? One that doesn't roll up in a $1 million car and they only make $1 million, says the one who humbles himself will be exalted. He also said to the one who had invited him, when you give a lunch or dinner, don't invite your friends, your brothers or sisters, your relatives or rich neighbors, because they might invite you back, and you would be repaid. On the contrary, when you host a banquet, invite those who are poor, maimed, lame, or blind, and you will be blessed because they cannot repay you. For you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous. Meaning, that's what we do. We boast in ourselves, right? Oh, I'm only going to invite my friends. I'm only going to invite the people that make me look good. Right? That's what people do. People do that all the time. They invite the people that make them look good. And that's not the point that God's trying to make of us. It says, when one of those who reclined at the table with him heard these things, and he said to him, Blessed is the one who will eat bread in the kingdom of God. Then he told him, a man was given a large banquet and invited many. At the time of the banquet, he sent his servant to tell those who were invited, Come, because everything is now ready. But without exception, they all began to make excuses. The first one said to him, I have bought a field, and I must go out and see it. I asked you to excuse me. Another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I'm going to try them out. I ask you to excuse me. And another said, I just got married, and therefore I'm unable to come. So the servant came back and reported these things to his master. Then in anger, the master of the house told his servant, Go out quickly into the streets and alleys of the city and bring in here the poor, the maimed, the blind, and the lame. Master, the servant said, what you ordered has been done, and there's still room. Then the master told the servant, Go out into the highways and the hedges and make them come in, so that my house may be filled. For I tell you, not one of those people who were invited will enjoy my banquet. Now great crowds were traveling with him, so he turned to them and he said, If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, wanting to build a tower, doesn't sit first down and calculate the cost to see if it has enough to complete it? Otherwise, after he has laid the foundation and cannot finish it, all the onlookers will begin to ridicule him, saying, This man started to build and wasn't able to finish. Or what king going to the war against another king will not first sit down and decide if he is able with 10,000 to oppose the one who comes against him with the 20,000? How's it going, Caden? Nice to see you. How's it going, Mr. Potato? It says, let's see, in the same way, therefore, every one of you who does not renounce all his possessions cannot be my disciple. Now, salt is good, but if salt should lose its taste, how will it be made salty again? It isn't fit for the soil or for the manure pile. They throw it out. Let anyone who has ears to hear listen.